Hey you, welcome to this video series of building up your personal brand website. Over the next couple of videos, I'll be walking you through the things you need to consider and do to build a personal brand website that will help you maybe get a high-paying job, promote your freelancing skills, sell your products, your courses, your ebook, or maybe even building a sales funnel or an affiliate funnel or whatever your focus is. Something like my website over here, which I'm building up as I'm sharing this video series. Personally, I've built many successful websites over the years, but none of them is personal branded websites, so I don't claim myself to be a brand expert, but what I can offer in this video series are the things that I know as well as what I learned along the way while building up this site. You see, I've always wanted a domain with my name, but this domain name was off the market for years and I finally purchased it after 6 years in an auction by GoDaddy, and I didn't spend more than $50 on this. In fact, I spent 16 Sing dollars. Interesting, right? Good things do come to people who are patient. Now in this video, I'll be walking you through how to buy your branded domain name, but more importantly, share with you the things you need to consider before getting one. And do stick with me to the end, because in case someone else has acquired a domain name that you desire, like for example, your first and last name.com, which is a very common problem, but that should not be the excuse for you to stop doing things. We have to move forward. So I will share with you my method of how I bought jacktile.com. It will take some time and some luck, as well as I will share with you some alternative domains that you can buy towards the end of the video. So stick with me and do subscribe to the channel, because over the next couple of weeks, I'll be building up this video series like an online branding course, and of course you get this for free if you subscribe to the channel. And along the way, if you found value in this video, I would appreciate if you can smash the like button so hard, but not as hard as this guy over here. I'll be sharing with you how to build a website like this. I will share with you how to use your personal branding website as a marketing funnel to promote whatever you want in this video series. So if you are someone who has a passion, knowledge or skill, maybe you are an artist who wants to promote your art, you are a vocal coach who wants to sell your coaching service, you are a fitness trainer who wants to brand yourself, this personal brand website video series will definitely help you out in one way or another. So subscribe. Now, before everything else, let's first talk about the pros and cons of starting your personal brand website. Should you even use your name right at the start when you have nothing to begin with? Let's start with the cons. Now, obviously, if you're looking to build a website and later on you want to sell it, you know it's not going to happen unless the buyer is the same name as you. That's given. So if you intend to go down this route, there is no turning back. You are putting your name on the line and you should never think of selling it. Now the second thing is, if your name is too long, it is hard to pronounce, it's hard to spell, you might be in a disadvantage. Like Gary Vaynerchuk, his last name is hard to remember, his domain name is his full name, but unless you're someone like him where people will still find him no matter what, you might want to think of an easier domain name. Like Gary Vaynerchuk made himself known as Gary V so that people will remember him much easier. So if you type in garyv.com on your browser, you'll be redirected to a domain with his full name. This may be something you want to consider for the long run. If you have a long first and last name domain that is available, you may want to buy it first and at the same time think of a shorter alias and do exactly what Gary V is doing. Number 3 is something important. You're putting yourself out there and your reputation is at stake. It's not like any other websites where if something goes wrong, you can close the site down while still protecting your identity. With your name at stake, whatever you do, you have to be very careful so you don't fall into any legal issues, people calling you names or whatever. You have to be your own PR manager at the start. Number 4 is, with just your name, it doesn't immediately tell someone what you do and how you can help. But anyway, this is a minor thing. People will be attracted to you based on the content that you share on your blog or social media channels, so this is not such a big deal. Now let's go to the pros. Now obviously, if you have multiple social media channels and all of your channels are with your personal name, naturally it's much easier for people to find you. If your personal brand website has done proper SEO and when someone search for your name on Google, your personal brand domain name should show. And the next benefit is that it's much easier for a person to build a strong rapport and connection with their audience than a company. If you are intending to sell your coaching or your course, it is much easier for you to make that connection with your audience, make them trust you with the value that you provide to them before selling anything to them. People tend to trust another person more than a company. You putting yourself out there, it gives a strong signal that you are not messing around, and honestly, this is the most significant benefit of starting your personal brand website. Now, if you have something worthy that you can share, you think that you can elevate other people's lives, you have a strong commitment to providing value to your target audience, then I don't see any issues with you using your name as a brand name. Cool. You know the pros and cons. Do subscribe to the channel to get notified of future videos, because we're going to talk about the actionable steps to help you develop your personal brand identity and build out a beautifully designed personal brand website without hiring anyone. And check out the description below as well. There is an entire course plan, and I'll update them whenever a video is published. Now let's get to the final part of this video, which is to buy your domain name if someone else has already taken yours. I never like to get a free domain name from a hosting company because I never like to be tied down by a hosting company. If I don't like a hosting service, I can switch it to another service whenever I want without any downtime. But if your domain name is tied down with a hosting company and you want to transfer out your domain name, you may suffer some downtime, which is not favorable for you. So I recommend just buying your domain name from Namecheap. I'm not an affiliate of Namecheap, by the way, but I just happen to always buy my domains from this place. So to check out if a domain name is available, I recommend going to namecheap.com to search for it and buy it from there. But now let's start with searching for your domain name. Buy it first, and then we'll talk about hosting and other stuff later on. So now let's take, for example, my name is John Smith, so I want to search for johnsmith.com. Hit enter. Well, it's available, but I'm not willing to spend a fortune buying this domain name. But if I intend to buy this domain name later on, I will need to keep a lookout. jackchow.com cost over $5,000 back in 2014, and I'm not willing to spend that money on that domain name. So I'll go to whois.net and search for johnsmith.com. And over here, the domain expiry date is on November 24, 2020, which is coming soon. You have to mark this date down because when the domain expires and the owner did not renew it, that's the opportunity for you to buy it. So on the day of expiry, I'll go to another website called expireddomains.net and search for johnsmith.com. And if johnsmith.com is expired, it will show here, but at this moment it's not expired yet, so it wouldn't show. Sometimes even if a domain is expired, it will not be available immediately, so it may go into an auction, and if there's an auction, there should be a link over here for you to click on so that you can bid for it. That's how I got jackchow.com, and it's through this website. I clicked on the auction link and it brought me to GoDaddy. Go try and bid for it. Who knows, you may get a domain name at a damn cheap price if no one else is bidding for it. For my case, I'm the only one bidding for it and I won. But anyway, if the domain expiry is still far away, or if the current owner decides to renew the domain and you don't want to wait, go and check out these domains names over here. They are expired and available. You can buy it immediately, but don't buy it here. Buy it from namecheap.com because that's more reputable. Now, if you don't like any of these expired domain names and your first and last name domain is not available, then here are some examples that you can use. So I'm still John Smith, so coachjohnsmith.com, drjohnsmith.com, Foodie John Smith, John Smith Digital, John Smith HQ, TV, tech, comms, brand, or whatever. So you have a modifier with your full name. Another option is to use your middle initial if you have. So let's say that I'm John C. Smith, so johncSmith.com. Or you can use special characters like john-smith.com. Personally, I prefer not to use a dash, underscore, or numbers because it is harder for people to remember a domain name with a special character, but it's totally up to you. Alternatively, if you're not particular about .coms, maybe you can use the .net, .org, or .co, but I wouldn't stray away from these abbreviations. Or lastly, if you have a niche, for example investing, then you can do investwithjohnsmith.com, or if you are a baker, then bakersmith or bakerjohnsmith.com. So it's a word related to your niche plus your first and last name. So these are the modifiers you can use to buy off a personal brand domain name. Now let me walk you through how to buy a domain name. Let's say I want to buy jackchowtv.com and it's available. Let me add to cart. View item. checkout. You can adjust the currency here. For me, I'll sign in, but if you don't have an account, you have to sign up. So let's view cart. So I'll put in a promo code. This code will give me quite a bit of discount. You can go test it out. I'm not sure if this promo code will be active, but over the past year it has been active, so you may want to try it. And then just confirm order, and then you can pay it through PayPal. And when your order is ready, you should be able to see something like this. I hope that with this, you already have some ideas on which personal brand domain name to buy. And if you did buy a domain name, then feel free to share your domain in the comment section. I'll go check it out. Anyway, thanks for sticking around. I hope that this video did provide some value to you. And if it did, smash that like button, will ya? Thank you, and you are awesome. Also, don't forget to subscribe and check out the description down below for the full course modules. I hope to post as quickly as I can, and if the next video is ready, I'll post it up on the right.